Hi everybody, so I'm so excited about today because we're going to make some really good treats for the fire department. And we have a lot to do, so I'm not going to record the entire steps for everything, but we'll just kind of go over the basics of what you need to do and what we need to have. So the first thing I'm making are the Adventure Time Num Nums, which are cake pops but without the actual popsicle stick, and it's gonna go inside some miniature waffle cones. So the first thing that I want to do is I bought these waffle cones over the internet because our one grocery store in town did not have any waffle cones. And because they're not really waffle, they're just like the white batter cones. I'm afraid they're gonna smash easily, so what I want to do is I bought some of these chocolate melting chips, and you will need these, but for on top, but I also want them inside, and so therefore I'm not using the entire thing. I poured probably about almost a half, a little over a half, maybe 2/3 into this bowl in which I will melt the chocolate. And then I'm gonna put them in the refrigerator, and the thing is how do you get them to stand up, right? And I looked on the internet and you could buy actual like waffle cone holders, but they're really expensive. So I decided to make some. I'll set that. So what I did is I took a normal egg carton that I used, and about a week ago I wiped down the bottoms with some Clorox wipes, and just to make sure that it killed any kind of germs. And then I took my little knife, and at the bottom you can see like where the indentation is right here. I just kind of cut right around this hole, just like this. And you know, obviously you want to be careful so you don't cut yourself. And then it's okay if they don't pop all the way out. You can pop them out if you want, or you can just use your finger and kind of push them down. And those made little holes, and they're perfect for setting these cones in. Voila, like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fill all these up, and I won't make you watch me do the whole thing. I'll cut this part out. Alright, so the last one. Now, there you go. I bought a pack of 36, and because there are a dozen in each eggs, then I just used 3 cartons to make perfect 36 slots. You need a Ziploc baggie, and all I had was these ginormous ones, which would have worked, but it just would have been a little bit more difficult. And then I realized that these little waffle cone things come in Ziploc baggies, and they're small, so I think this will probably work perfectly. Because what we're going to do is after we melt the chocolate, to make it easier, I'm going to pour it into the Ziploc bag and then just squirt it into each cone. So I'll have to kind of judge how much chocolate I need. And for melting the chocolate, you'll just want to follow the instructions for whatever it says. Usually it's something like, yes, microwave for 1 minute and stir thoroughly, and continue to microwave and stir at 30-second intervals until smooth and completely melted. So I will be back when the chocolate is melted. Alright everybody, so here we go. Oh, I left my towel. 1 second. Okay, because the bowl is like really hot. So I'm going to try my best to pour this mixture in here. Now I have to be honest with you, that's hot. Look at the milk bag. I added a little bit of milk, and therefore I don't know what's gonna happen, like if it's gonna harden or not. This could just melt right through the bag too. Oh gosh. This is terrifying. This might not have been a good idea. It's a good idea, but I don't know if I executed it properly. very sludgy. So, we'll see. We'll test run it. If it doesn't work, then I've got some more chocolate chips. Sorry, I know I just disappeared. Got some more chocolate chips, and actually I don't have enough chocolate chips to redo this, but I have some white chips that I might be able to use. Okay, I'm just gonna cut like tiny. So hot though. Let's see what works, if this works. I'm gonna pipe this into, oh my gosh, into each little cone. Twist. Maybe I need to let the air out of this. So you guys can learn with me. You can be like, don't do it, she did. Maybe if I had like, I don't know, I don't think you need real piping bags. I've heard that this works just as well. It's just so hot. Maybe my hole's not big enough. Oh, Chihuahua. Oh, it's so hot. And maybe it's too thick to come out. Okay, I'm gonna try to cut a bigger hole. And hope that isn't like just a little squirt out or something. I don't really recommend this. I think there's gotta be a better way. Okay, here comes the chocolate. There we go. So I'm just piping it in to about like halfway. It's kind of gross looking. So I will come back when I'm done, and we'll see how this works. So what I'm gonna do is put this in the fridge so that it has time to, I might even put it in the freezer, we'll see, times to cool and harden, and hopefully it will help protect the cones and keep them from breaking. And you know, I only bought like one thing of chocolate, the little chippy thingies, melting chips, but I might suggest buying two, because I don't know if this is going to be enough to do like all 36 cones. Bullets. I might have to dip into the, see, this is kind of what it looks like. I don't know if you can see that. I know my camera keeps refocusing. I can hear it constantly refocusing, but hopefully this works. Alright, I'll see you in a sec. Alright, so as you can see, I have some major malfunction with my Ziploc bagger. Although it's not Ziploc brand, so I can't say that. A Ziploc brand might not have broken. Anyways, and I had to switch over to white because I ran out of brown. So I would suggest 2 full brown, maybe 2 full brown of these little tubs for candy dips. So anyways, and since my piping bag broke, I kind of had to fork it and shove it down there with my fingers, which is why I'm all messy. So I'm gonna wash my hands off, and then I'm gonna put these in the refrigerator, and then the next step will be to start the cake. And for this, I'm just using a simple box cake, and you'll just have to follow the instructions on that. It's like 1 cup of water, half a cup of vegetable oil, and 3 eggs is what this box says. So after that, I'll make this cake, and I'll be back to tell you what else we can do after that. Okay, see ya. Hey everyone, I'm back. Alright, so I decided that while my cake was cooking, I was gonna go ahead and start the sugar cookie batter that I would use for my my unicorn poop cookies. So I've already started that. I'm not gonna give you the recipe that I used just because I actually took it from someone else. I'm using someone else's recipe. I think her I don't know, her YouTube channel is called Yo-Yo Max, but I'll definitely put a link or, you know, right down below what her channel is so that if you want to use this recipe, you can. Basically, what you'll want is you'll just want a sugar cookie dough that is going to keep its shape. So that's really important, that it keeps its shape. So if you, I might take my ring off for this, if you have like a store-bought brand that you like really well and you know that it keeps its shape, then go ahead and use that one, and that's fine. This one that I'm using is a, what's it called, an icebox cookie dough. So, and it's pretty simple to make, but it's sticky. And what we're gonna do is I've pretty much mixed it all up. It still needs a little bit more mixing, but I'm gonna separate it into 4 parts because I want 4 colors. If you want more than 4 colors, then you can separate it into more than 4 parts. But just do, you know, kind of whatever you want. So sticky. Alright, I think that's gonna be as mixed up as I want it to be. So I'm going to roughly divide this into 4 sections. So I'm gonna have these tiny bowls up here. Here's my big ball of dough. Smells good. I wish you guys could smell it. Smell this. Not, I know you can smell, but smell in the kitchen. It smells like a bakery in here from the cookies and the cake. My cake is actually done. It's over in the windowsill right now, cooling. Figured I'd let it cool before I start working with the cake. That way it doesn't burn my fingers or anything like that. Alright, it is time to separate this gigantic ball of cookies. Alright, so I'm just gonna kind of squeeze in the middle, and I don't really care if it's perfect or not, because, you know, the colors don't have to be completely 100% uniform in the amount that there is. You just want it close to uniform. Not, well, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, alright, so I'm going to add the color while this is still soft, and then after I add the color, then I'll stick it in the ice box. Let's see, I'm going to take a little from here. That looks pretty good. Alright, let's set this aside. So I decided to use, you can use neutral colors, your red, yellow, green, and blue. That's what I did last time. It turned out really nice. I probably should do it again since I know what it looks like, but I'm not. So I'm going to use pink, and I've actually never used these little, oh, I gotta open it. My hands are all greasy. Hang on, I need help. Alright, so I gotta take the little lid thingies off of this. There we go. Should probably just dip the lid part in and get some color there. Set that in there. So now I'm going to squirt just a little bit of pink in, because I've not worked with these before. These are gels. And I'll see what it turns out. You'll need 4 forks. I'll need to get another fork. I don't know if you can hear the music in the background. But I can, so that makes me hum. And we're gonna mash all the colors in here, you know, and I'll go ahead and skip the video so you don't have to watch me mash all these colors, which is gonna take quite some time. So we'll see you once all the colors are mixed. Alright everyone, my cake has cooled, and I've got my rainbow unicorn poop cookies in balls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these into the freezer, and then I'll come back and start working with this cake to make some cake pops. Okay, so into the freezer. Alright, so we'll need our little balls of cookie dough to sit for about 20 minutes in the freezer. In the meantime, we're going to start making our cake pops. So this is pretty simple. You're just going to crumble up your cake. I use the confetti cake. It's so pretty, and I'm so excited because hopefully those colors will continue to show, you know, when you take the bite out of the cake pops. So. Alright, so now I have it all crumbled up in this bowl, which I'm not sure is big enough. But what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take probably like 2 scoops of this icing, which will be about half. Turns out to be about half of the little cup of icing. And I'll start here, and I'm going to use my fingers to work this together and get it so it's all mushy and squishy together. And this is going to take probably a little bit, and it's going to be messy, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera back off, and I'll be back when it's time to form the balls, in which I will put onto this little plate. Alright, see you in a second. Hi everyone, so I'm back, and I'm almost done making these cake balls. I've just taken like a little handful of the batter, and very lightly rolling it between the palms of my hands. If you squeeze too hard, it's going to make it like smash or break, so you do have to kind of be a little gentle. And I've got 2 more of these to make. Then I don't know, I took out my waffle cone and I kind of sized it and made sure that I was making like the right size. And so they're not too small, but they're also not extremely large. And let's see, after this, I'll have to put them into the refrigerator. And I think while these are being done, or cooling off, I'm going to start the process of making the cookies, the unicorn cookies, as far as shaping them and decorating them and everything. This part, decorating the unicorn cookies, it's a little like, I don't know, you gotta work fast because they get soft, and you just need to keep them in the refrigerator as long as possible. Sorry, there's a bunch of people parked up by my house. So I'm gonna put these in the fridge, and then I'll be back with my bowls and I'll show you what to do. Okay. Alright, so I just pulled my balls of dough out of the freezer, and I'm gonna kind of cut them into 8 pieces. And obviously I'll try to make it semi-even, but you know, if it's not, then that's okay. And when I get the pieces, I'm going to also form them into small little pieces of dough, just kind of help them. You know, I don't even know if I need to do that. I don't see why. It's just like one extra step. Although it's kind of a nice step because you just go in there and grab it. But I think if all these pieces are together, you know what? I'm deciding not to roll them up into balls. I'm just going to wipe my knife off and continue to get this in a semi-equal 8 piece. With the thought that it's not going to be detrimental. So basically I'm cutting it kind of like a pie, right? And you can't really see that, but see, I cut it these way. There we go. I will kind of separate them just to make sure, because sometimes it kind of sticks to the bottom of the bowl. And that way when I do go to grab pieces, I won't have like some extra dough left over on the bottom. Alright, there's the yellow. kind of smash it down just to make it easier. Now I'm working on the purple. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you guys. I decided instead of blue to do purple. Because my green is actually a teal that I used, and it's kind of got like a hint of blue in it. And I just didn't want it to have too much blue, you know, so I decided to make sure that it's obvious different colors, and I did this very dark, vivid purple color. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Alright, and last one, my pink. This is so interesting. So I'm going to put these probably back in the freezer after I'm done. And that way I can get ready, because I'll need to be ready for the next process and kind of move fast, because this stuff melts pretty quickly. And I don't want it melting on me. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, hi everyone. So I'm taking one of each color of my dough, and I am just going to purple color, roll it up, and kind of roll it into a long line, kind of like that. It doesn't have to be too long. It'll be rolled out more later, and you can do obviously whichever order of colors you would like. I'm going to do kind of like the rainbow, the red, yellow, green, and blue, but it'll be pink, yellow, green, and purple. Kind of green, teal. There we go. Now it's really important, I think, to keep these cool, because last time when I made this, they spread just a little bit, and I think it's because I didn't put them back in the refrigerator after I made this. Okay, so I've made it into like a stick like that, and then I'm going to cut them in half because they will grow. And then I just kind of put it on top like that. It rolls easily like that. Now, what I've learned last time is that it's easier to take this and go ahead and start lightly rolling them together like this, so you can get all the colors really mixed in there well. Don't worry about twisting right now. Once you get it down, back down on the parchment paper, just, you know, do your hands in the opposite direction, and that will help twist your dough. And then you don't have to have too long of a line, and you can just kind of curl it up and make it into a poopy pattern as such. And then I'm gonna go ahead and transfer it to my pan, which when I'm done with this one, I'm going to put some sprinkles, or not some sprinkles, some sugar beads on it. And that will, just to make it pretty, extra pretty. And I'll show you, I'll do that one too for you. I'm gonna twist. Oh, that's so pretty. I like the colors. I'm glad I changed the colors this time, because they're really pretty together. So, and it doesn't all have to be in this twisty log. It's just kind of how you feel you want your poo-poo to look like. It's kind of gross sounding, isn't it? But I'm gonna put them pretty close together because they shouldn't spread. Sorry, I forgot to grab my beads. So I've got these 3 colored beads, and you know, I think I'm only gonna use white for this. So I'm gonna put these aside and just use these white beads. Yeah. So, kind of open these up. I wipe my hands with my towel because my hands are a little greasy. These cookies, this recipe is kind of a greasy recipe, so, which isn't bad. Just get your hands all greasy. Okay. Whoa. Okay. They were kind of smashed up in the wood there. So this is gonna take a little while, I'm sure, but I'm just gonna press like a couple of them into here. Not a whole lot. I don't want it to go overboard, because later, I'm just gonna do 5. Later I'm going to, after they cook, I'm going to put some like glitter gel, the edible kind, and some star sprinkles. So after I'm done, I know this is going to be really repetitive, but I'm going to go ahead and put it back in the refrigerator while I'm making my next cookie, just so that these don't start melting, okay? Alright, and I'll see you when it's done. Alright, I'm back and I'm almost done. I just have my last cookies to make, and I have gone ahead and I've preheated my oven to 375. And once I'm done with this cookie, then I will bring the pan that has all the other cookies on it, and I'll place these cookies on there and we'll put them in for like 10 minutes. So it's really quick baking, which is kind of nice. Although now I'm a little worried because I'm on duty. I wasn't supposed to be on duty today, and but I just got a phone call, and one of my partner employees, he has to go help out his daughter, so he's got to leave, and I've got to cover his shift. So with any luck, we won't have any calls while we're doing this, and so I can continue to do this and won't have to pause and wait too long. So, oh goodness. So tomorrow, it's exciting. I'm so excited about the Firehouse garage sale. It's a garage sale, but it's all by donations. So you don't have to actually pay for anything. You can just take whatever you want. Although it would be slightly impolite to do that, even though it's understood you can. But so I am making these because they will go with the big sale that they're having, and pretty new to the neighborhood. So I don't know. This could make or break me. We'll see. We'll see how the sense of humor is of the people around here, and I guess the age. I don't know. You know, there's very many young people around here, but I'm sure we'll all be good. And if not, then I'll just be known as the crazy new EMT that likes to make weird food. But it's so much fun. So anyways, they've turned out so pretty so far. I really like the colors. I'm glad I went with this teal and the purple and the pink this time. It's really nice. So it's a pretty little patty, so edible. I know the idea of it is so gross, but it tastes oh so good, and it's so pretty. So, oh goodness, it's been a long night. My eyes look tired. It's because they are tired. And so we went out and had some pizza, and so I was on duty, so I couldn't drink, and I'm glad, because my husband, Andre, started drinking with his colleague, our new friend, and drank a little too much. And so I've been up all night taking care of him. But I feel sorry for him because he did have to go to work today, and I'm sure he feels like crap right now. Tried my best though, you know. I made a orange smoothie this morning for him to help him get some vitamins, you know, and some healthy fats with some omega-3. I put flaxseed in it to help with that. And Also made him a very healthy breakfast with tons of nutrients in it, and that way hopefully he can start recovering. Gave him some aspirin for the headache, and I hope he's okay. Oh goodness. Anyways, alright, so this cookie is done. I dropped this one. Yeah, this one can be special and have 6. Alright, so I'm gonna get my pan, put these in my pan. You can see what they all look like. I don't know if you can see them from there actually. Hang on, I'll hold them up for you. So, it makes 16 cookies, and they fit just perfectly. Except I try not to poke them because they change shape easily if you poke them. So, see? Alright, so now I'm going to put them in my oven for about 10 minutes, and I don't think I'm going to do anything while... I might show you what I've done with the cookies that are coming up next, because we still have one more cookie to do. So I'll be right back. Alright, so what you're going to need for the Elven cookie, or the Elven bread, which is Lembas, is going to be some green construction paper. I only had a pen, I didn't have a green marker, so it would have been better if there was a marker, but don't have one. A square cookie cutter. If you don't have a square cookie cutter, you can probably, if you have like a square glass, you could use that too, I'm sure. And some twine. So what I did to make these is I took my green piece of paper and I outlined a square like that on my paper, so you can kind of see the paper was elongated like that, and I put it so that my corners were going in the middle pieces and not in the corners. Outlined the square, and then from there I just drew leaves as such, and I cut it out, and then I drew the veins, which is just like a bunch of S shapes, almost like waves, and just made a whole bunch of these, which took a little while. This paper kind of smells like crown a little bit. I've had it sitting out, so it's a little bit better, but I think I'm going to take some, hang on, some tissue paper and wrap it in a thin piece of tissue paper. If I had saran wrap, I'd wrap it in saran wrap, but I don't have any. I'm sure saran wrap would be better. So I'm going to wrap in tissue paper, and then this, I'm not going to actually do it with this one because I don't want to ruin it, but basically the leaves just fold over as such. Yeah. Well, when you're doing it early, you'll have to put a little bit more pressure. I don't want to ruin this one because I don't want to make any more. It'll take a long time. And then once they're folded over the cookie, then you can take twine and you can wrap it around the leaf to close it, and it'll be really cute. So anyways, that is what you will need to have prepared in order to do the Lembas. Let's see, after the rainbow cookies, the unicorn cookies come out, I'm going to paint them. I'll be back. I am going to paint them with this sparkler gel. Like I said, I live in a really small town, so really all we have is Safeway, and there's like nowhere to buy anything. So I couldn't find like just paintbrushes for food or anything like that. So I bought these paintbrushes, and I'll take one, probably one of the thin ones, the smallest one here that's like in a thin line. And I'll wash it, and then I'll use that to paint on my sparkle gel. And then while it's still wet, I'm going to take these cute little sprinkles, stars, sugar stars, and I'll sprinkle some of those on that so they'll stick. And that will be the end of it. So it'll be really good as far as the rainbow cookies go. There's so many people pulling up and in and out, and It's crazy. Anyways, and then I guess we'll do our cake pops next, and those will be interesting. You'll need some toothpicks. These have wrappers on them because I took them from the bar last night. And although we bought enough drinks and stuff that I'm sure they wouldn't mind me using 4 toothpicks. And with the toothpicks, and then I think I told you guys this already, sprinkles, and these little vanilla candy dips, in which I'm going to dye them pink once they're melted. And then I'll use these little pink balls, and I'll use like one on top to kind of make it look like a cherry, because we're making their cake pops on the ice cream cones, but they're supposed to look like kind of like sundaes, ice cream sundaes. So they'll be pink, the pink shell. And then with these chocolates, I'll drizzle a little on top, and then that'll be like the chocolate dripping down, and then the sprinkles and the cherry on top. So that's about it. Oh, that's my realtor. I'm gonna go see what he's doing. I'll be back. Alright, so as my unicorn cookies, as they cool off, I'm gonna go ahead and start on the cake pops. So, alright. I will take my cake pops out of the refrigerator, and I will take a toothpick, and here are my ice cream cones. So I'm gonna start by dipping the cake pop. Oh, freaking A, sorry, I forgot to put color in it. I'll do that in a sec. So this one will be white, how about that? So I don't know if this is melted enough. It's not looking pretty. I'll put this on this white one right here. Basically, this is what's gonna happen. And then it's gonna stick here, and I'm gonna pull that out. And it's kind of, actually even the messiness looks kind of nice because it looks like ice cream. Try to clean up the sides of the cake pop here. And then I'll stick it back in this holder. There we go. So kind of clean this cake pop off. Here, toothpick. This is gonna get very messy here very quickly. It's good. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. Okay, put a squirt of pink. I'm gonna start mixing that up. Yeah, you definitely don't need more than that. It's such a strong color. It's like bubblegum pink, a lot pinker than I anticipated. Really mix this up really well as possible as I can. Okay, and I'm gonna have to kind of move semi-quickly. Okay, dip this in here. I'm gonna kind of use my fork to help get stuff on it because it's just not really liquidy enough. Oh my goodness. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just use my fork to help with that up. Stick them right there. Kind of swirl that around. Oh my gosh, it's so cute! As long as it doesn't drip too much, which it possibly could, but who cares? I don't. Let's see. Go ahead and pick this guy up, stick him in there, and get some icing on him. Put him right here. Use my thumb. I thought that was gonna fall. goodness, this is, I don't know what this is. It's a little scary. Maybe I need to buy better quality chocolate. I'm sure that would help. I think I bought like the cheapest stuff you could possibly buy, so that would probably make like a huge difference if I actually bought good quality chocolate. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to keep doing this until I'm done, and then I'll come back and show you. Well, actually, once I'm done, I'm going to put it all in the fridge, and then I'll be back. Hey everyone! Aren't they so cute? Alright, so our last thing we're going to do is put some chocolate on top. There goes my sprinkles. And I'm going to see how well I can do this. I'm going to use the end of this fork and just kind of try to dribble some of it on here. I'm not going to worry too much about making it look too pretty, just because I don't know how much I'll be able to get. And then I have these little pink beads, and I'm going to try to stick it right in the middle. Well, that didn't work very well. That's okay. And some sprinkles. And ta-da! It's kind of cute. It's not bad. It could be better. I know, it could be better, but for the first time, for my first try, it's not too bad. So, chocolate. Alright, and then once I'm done with all these, then we'll go back to our unicorn cookies and finish those up. So honestly, if I could have found them, it would be really nice to use like a mini M&M to put in the middle as your cherry. That would have been really cute. But couldn't find any mini M&Ms, so that's why I'm using these. And I thought maybe an M&M would be too big, but it might actually not have been too big. But since I don't have them with me, obviously I can't use it. So I'll just do with what I have and know next time how to do it better. Alright, well, thank you for sticking with me through these little cake pop things, Adventure Time Num-Nums. And I call them that because I have like this little tag that's going to go on them, because I'm going to put them in plastic so they're not just sitting outside, you know, while people are wanting to buy them. And I put a picture of the Adventure Time cartoon, and it's really cute. I don't think it's an original. It's, I mean, not originally from Adventure Time. Someone else drew it, and it looks like the main character kind of ate all the little Adventure Time guys, and he's got a little belly sticking out. It's cute. So, anywho, that's why I'm calling him that. So I guess I will see you back in shortly to finish the unicorn poop. Alright, see you in a sec. Alright everyone, I'm back, and now it's time to finish up our unicorn poop cookies. We've already finished our Adventure Time Num-Nums, and now the unicorn we will finish. And then after this, we'll do our last thing, which is, I saved it to last because it's really quick, and that's the Lembas bread. It's so quick. So we'll do that last, and then I'll bring it all together so you can kind of see it all together, and I'll show you some close-ups so you can see how it turned out. I know this is really long, so thanks for sticking with me, and let's get started on this. So here I have the sparkle gel, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of, well, I don't know, I might have to test this and see what I like doing better. Ooh, the hole is so small. So I put some on my paintbrush, which I did wash already, and I'm just going to kind of wipe it around. I think I might just see if I can squirt it kind of in the middle and around in some places, like this might help. I used a pin to poke a hole in the tip of this, but like a needle pen, you know, not like an ink pen. But I wish I had something bigger because this is kind of difficult. Oh, боже мой. Alright, this is going to take us such a long time. So I have all these dots here on my cookie. Okay, you might be able to see the white dots. So that's kind of the gel, and I'm just going to try to kind of spread that around. It's really pretty. Glittery. I'm holding it up so you guys can kind of see it. I don't know if you can see it or not. But it just gives it a really shiny look, and you can kind of see some of the glitter, which is fun, you know. Alright. So now that it's still wet, while it's still wet, I'm going to take a few sprinkles and kind of place them around nonchalantly, and probably do a couple more. There we go, and there is our unicorn poop cookie. So I'm gonna finish these up, and I'll see you back to do the lembas spread. Thanks for watching. Hi everyone, so we've started the lembas spread. To make this, I'm going to go ahead and give you the recipe because it's probably not as commonly known as like sugar cookies. Ooh, my oven's preheated. I preheated my oven to 325, and then I will cook these for about 20 minutes. But what's in this recipe is about a cup of butter, half a cup of sugar, 2.5 cups of flour, and then you're supposed to use lemon zest, but I just took some lemon juice and I squirted it in there. Not a whole lot, like maybe absolutely no more than a teaspoon. Maybe even just half a teaspoon, but I just kind of, and that's it. So anyways, I think this is supposed to be more crumbly than what it is, but I'm sure it will turn out okay. So what I'm gonna do is I think I'm just gonna kind of split this in half, and I'll just start making these by halves. It might be easier. I don't really want to roll it out with a rolling pin or anything, although I probably ought to. So I'm gonna smash it down. I really don't want it to be like perfectly flat, because then it doesn't look so much like bread. Homemade bread. So this is, I don't think it tastes like bread. I think it's very sweet, almost like a cookie. I mean, it has sugar, flour, and butter, so it's pretty close to cookie. Alright, so I'm just going to start cutting out squares. So I'll just kind of peel this from around. I cut this part off like that on the side. I don't know if you guys see that. So then I have my perfect square. I have a baking sheet. Actually, my other cookie sheet was like being used still. The unicorn cookies are still drying. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the back of this knife, so that's the side, and I'm going to make like a little X in this, and it's going to kind of give it that look of, you know, like they have the bread that could be split. So you could also use like a toothpick, or probably one of those lollipop sticks, you know, just whatever. I find the back of the knife is really easy. Alright, so I'm going to continue making this, and then once I'm done putting them all on my baking sheet, I will stick them in for 20 minutes, not very long, and then we'll pull them out and we'll let them cool, and then we'll start wrapping them. So I'll see you guys in a second when they're done. Alright, our Lembas bread is done. Here's what it looks like. I guess I don't need the towel for this one. There's what it looks like. I probably should let them cool a little bit more before I wrap them, and I will let these cool. But I just need to pick my husband up from work, so I need to get this over with. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I have my leaf, and I have my parchment paper, wrapping paper, I don't know what it is. Anyways, it doesn't smell as strongly as the leaf, so I'm going to put these two in here. Just kind of try to wrap them up the best I can. Put that back and tuck it in this little crevice right here. And then here comes the interesting part, because I haven't done this before, so I'm going to see the best way to fold this. I'm going to go this way, and then put that leaf under that, there. I think I'm going to just try to tie it this way, like so. Tuck it in. Maybe I squeezed it a little too tight. I'll have to work on this one. I made enough, so I try to make it a little nicer by tucking the ends in here. Buffing this out a bit. So let's and so I don't know if I should bow this or not. There we go. Here is our Lembas bread, and I will show you everything up close so that you can see it all really well, so you have an idea of what you're doing. And I want to thank Yo-Yo Max 12 for the unicorn poop ideas. I know there are a lot of unicorn poop on the internet, but I watched her primarily to figure out how to do it. And then Rosanna Pansino, and she had the Lembas idea, and it was really cute. I love her website, not her website, her Yahoo page. She has some great videos of things to do, so I definitely recommend visiting her if you want some cute ideas. And then for the adventure num nums, I can't say thanks to anyone because I didn't copy that from anyone. At least no one in particular. I kind of, there's a lot of recipes for pop cakes. That's what it's called. Yeah, popsicle cakes or cake pops. But it's mostly just cake and icing. And then there's pictures of different cake pop ideas. And so I saw one with real waffle cones, miniature, which would have tasted better, I'm sure, than the other kind that I have, but it still works. But I didn't have anyone tell me how to do that one, so I can't say, go see this person. So, anywho, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you enjoy all these goodies. I hope you get a chance to make them. Great fun with the kids, to make them with your family, with the kids, or make them for parties, or what have you. And I will see you all later. Thanks for keeping up with me. Bye. Kal's Kuzniashki. You've gotta laugh a little, food. Here's our unicorn poop cookies. Here is our Lembas Elven bread. And our Adventure Time Num Nums. thank you all. I hope you have a really good evening or a day or whatever time of day it is for you guys. Take care.